अस्सलामु अलैकुम नाजरीन, मैं यहाँ द पार्क होटल सोमाजीगुड़ा हैदराबाद में, जहाँ पे एक बड़ी इम्पोर्टेंट एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट की शुरुआत होने जा रही है, जो लंदन मेट्रोपॉलिटन यूनिवर्सिटी यूके के साथ कोलैबोरेशन में अपने हैदराबाद शहर में प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट होने वाले हैं 2012 सितंबर 2012 से। तो ये वन ऑफ ए काइंड एफिलिएशन है शहर हैदराबाद के लिए, और शहर हैदराबाद के स्टूडेंट्स के लिए बहुत खुशखबरी है। ये खुशी की बात है कि वो एजुकेशन जो फॉरेन जाके यूके जाके लेना पड़ता था, अभी ग्लेंडेल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मैनेजमेंट साइंसेज ने यहाँ पे मुमकिन कर दी है शहर हैदराबाद में। तो आज हमारे साथ मौजूद है चीफ एग्जीक्यूटिव एजुकेशन डॉक्टर अभिमन्यु आचार्य साहब। तो सबसे पहले हम चाहते हैं कि आप कुछ बताएं अपने बारे में, अपने इंस्टीट्यूट के बारे में, अपने विजन के बारे में कि आप लोग करना क्या चाहते हैं।
अच्छा, हैदराबाद एजुकेशन एकेडमी जो स्थापित किया हुआ है, ये जो जनाब बशीरुद्दीन बाबू खान साहब जो हैं उन्होंने शुरू किया था। और it also happened that he began with the establishment of the Springfield schools, followed very closely by the Glendale Academy, which has today emerged as one of the better schools in Hyderabad. His vision has been so great that he decided to go in for tertiary and quaternary education as well. And looking at the success of institutions like the Indian School of Business, he felt that it would be of great benefit to Hyderabad and the community to introduce international affiliations to the educational system in India and in Hyderabad, so that students who could not, for any reason, whether it is economic or border control reasons or whatever it is, could not go abroad to study, would have the opportunity to study in Hyderabad and get the same quality of education that they could expect abroad. Now, as you know, there are thousands, in fact tens of thousands of Indian students who go abroad every year. Now, with increasing difficulty of movement, I mean, although the world is supposed to be getting smaller, visa restrictions are getting tighter and more difficult. So what's happening is that many students who want to go for some reason are unable to travel because of visa restrictions, etc. So as a result of this, Babu Khan Saab's vision of bringing the foreign institution to India was a very good one, because now Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh and all the surrounding states will benefit greatly from this opportunity of getting a full, complete degree from the London Metropolitan University. London Metropolitan University, incidentally, is the biggest university in Britain. Now, this in itself is a great thing for Hyderabad, that we have an institution like the London Metropolitan University coming in. It is also important to understand that we in our country have been reducing our standards in education. At one point in time, in 1947 for instance, an Indian degree from any of the institutions, of course there were very few institutions in those days, but of any of the institutions, was considered tremendous. The Glendale Institute of Management Sciences in Hyderabad has partnered with London Metropolitan University to bring their courses with their standards, so that the students who graduate at the bachelor's level and who do their post-graduation at the master's level will become internationally employable. One, if they are all internationally employable, and we pretty much guarantee that, the fact is that they will be eminently employable in India.
The collaboration of this kind, is it happening for the first time in Andhra Pradesh?
Actually, it is for the second time in Andhra Pradesh. The collaboration for the first time that it happened, but it's not exactly like this, is the collaboration that the Indian School of Business has with the London School of Business, with Kellogg School of Management and Wharton in England. As once again, this institution, like us, will not have anything to do with AICTE, will not have anything to do with the UGC. They are independent, and you know today that ISB is so popular that they've opened a second campus in Mohali in Chandigarh. So one of the things is that it is not necessary for one to be connected with the normal bureaucratic way of doing things, but provided we maintain the standard, we expect to provide students with an international degree. So, of its kind, yes, it's the first, but it's not the first collaboration. The first collaboration has been, as I mentioned, with ISP, yes.
Like, what's your plan about, getting the right appropriate staff, to deliver the standard of education what the University of London is offering?
Well, you see, there is no doubt that some of the teachers in our country are among the best in the world. If you were to go to London Metropolitan University in Britain, or to the London School of Economics, or to the Warwick Business School or Cranfield in Britain, you'll see many Indians teaching over there. Mainly because there are many students from India over there and who later on become professors. Now many of them come back to India. And today, because of the economic condition in the US and Europe, many of them are rushing back to India, where things are more familiar and rupee stretches or your dollar stretches further. So what's happening is that we have a lot of Indian academics who have returned and are capable of delivering at a quality which is compatible with the London Metropolitan University.
We have the intermediate here, after passing intermediate, like how they can get into the programs, what exactly they have to do in order to, get your prospectus or, to get admission into the Glendale College.
Now, for the intermediate public examination, we would expect a performance in the IPE exam of around 75%. They would need to have an IELTS score, that is the English language testing, international English language testing score of around 6.5. And we would also be giving them a small entrance examination. This is not required by London School, by the London Metropolitan University. This is our own internal requirement. We will be giving them a very small, short entrance examination, which includes mathematics and statistics and English. So this is, of course, will be very simple, at no cost to them actually, because they will be coming in, and provided all their other qualifications are there, this would be required. Of course, those students who are studied in Kendriya Vidyalayas or any +2 schools, they will not require to do this examination, because all the students who would be coming in would be students of what we in our country call PCM, yeah, or CEC.
And there is a CBSE program also.
The CBSE program is also permitted without any entrance examination, or even the ISC program is accepted without any entrance.
How about for the master's program who already graduated? So what exactly, duration of experience is required, and how they can get into the MBA program?
Well, at present, the London Metropolitan University requires MBA aspirants to have 3 years of work experience. It is likely to be reduced to 2 years. So that's for the MBA. They would also require to have a reasonably good bachelor's degree. I mean, they have to have a minimum of 65% for the bachelor's degree. In Andhra Pradesh, in India, 65% is not a problem. And they need a 7 mark in IELTS, and they would require to do the GMAT. They would have to do the GMAT, but the level of attainment would be in the area of around 575. That's not very difficult. I mean, most of them do a much more difficult examination called the CAT. It's far more difficult than the GMAT examination, and the GMAT, they require only 575 marks. The experience for MSc is 0. You don't require any work experience, but the GMAT remains, the level of 7 IELTS remains, and the performance level in their undergraduate degree would be 65%. Yeah.
Do you have any website from where they can get the information, and also when you're going to start accepting the applications?
We will start accepting the applications from April onwards, April 2012 onwards. Our website is under construction. It's coming up. We will give you the address very shortly. But yes, all this will be ready. Our campus, our final campus will be ready at Moinabad on 40 acres of land. It's a very large institution, fully residential. But we are having a city campus now, which was starting in 2012, in September of 2012, which is on 11 acres, and it is going to house all the classes that we're going to start over there.
Most of the families or the parents and the students, they like to know how expensive is the program.
The BA program and the BSc programs would naturally be more expensive than the BSc programs that are available from any of our Indian universities. I'm talking about the public sector universities. Now, the cost of the program would be 2.25 to 2.5 lakhs per year for the bachelor's programs. This is, I admit freely, very much more expensive than what is available, because I believe there are colleges in India, excellent colleges in India, which still charge 15 rupees a month for education. But that is they're very, they are good universities. Let us not make a mistake about it. They're excellent universities and excellent colleges, but the point is that the seats are very limited. To give you an example, cut-offs in Delhi University this year from the top colleges were 100%. Now, to get into those kind of institutions is almost impossible. There are very limited seats. This would provide you with facilities that you would find in London, hopefully as good, if not better, than what is available in London, because we can provide much more with much less here in India, costs being the way they are. The cost of a master's program is very competitive in India. It is 5 lakhs for the full course. Now, 5 lakhs for the full course for an MBA degree or an MSc in marketing or whatever is worth it, because if you go to any non-governmental institute, that means if you go to any PGDBM course, they generally are in the region of 3 lakhs per year, which makes it 6 lakhs for the entire course. We are offering it for 5 lakhs.
Right. Dr. Acharya will talk to you again. Most likely very soon, once you get started with applications in our studios at Munsif TV. I'd like to invite you, and thank you very much for the information. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. जो बिजनेस चल रहा था शहर में ये इशू से पहले और ये इशू की शुरुआत में, और अब क्या फर्क पड़ा?
أنا طالب علم أبحث عن التراث الإسلامي.
शायरी को मैंने हमेशा अहम दर्जा दिया है, और मुझे घर बैठे अगर कोई काम इज्जत से मिल जाता है तो मैं कर लेती हूँ.
एक लंबा अरसा ऐसा गुजरा जब उर्दू सहाफत का रिकग्निशन तो रहा, मगर जो उसके अंदर एक फायर महसूस की जाती थी वो बाद में नजर नहीं आई.
जो भी बने मीडिया की आवाज, हम बनाएंगे बहस का मौजू. देखिए प्रोग्राम खास मुलाकात रोजाना शाम 4:30 बजे सिर्फ मुंसिफ टीवी पर.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाजरीन. आज हमारे साथ मिस्टर बॉब मॉर्गन, डीन ऑफ लंदन मेट्रोपॉलिटन बिजनेस स्कूल मौजूद है, जो ग्लेंडेल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मैनेजमेंट साइंसेज के साथ जो है कोलैबोरेशन में प्रोग्राम्स स्टार्ट होने वाले हैं 2012 में. चलिए दोस्तों, अब बात करते हैं डीन ऑफ लंदन मेट्रोपॉलिटन बिजनेस स्कूल बॉब मॉर्गन से. वेलकम बॉब. And first of all, thank you very much for your time, and we welcome you to India, to the city, the pearl of India, Hyderabad, the city of Hyderabad.
Thank you. It's my second time in Hyderabad, and I'm much enjoying my second visit.
Great. As you know, Mr. Bashiruddin Babu Khan is an icon of our city, of our state, and mashallah, he got a very beautiful vision in promoting the best education to the community or to the citizens of our country. So this is, I think, one of a kind affiliation or collaboration is going to put together in order to promote the better education for the citizens here. Our viewers like to to know a little bit about, the London Metropolitan University. Can you please give some information?
London Metropolitan University is one of the largest universities in the UK. It's located, as the name suggests, in London. The business school is located in the heart of the city, the main financial area of London. We are one of the biggest business schools in the UK and indeed in Europe. And as part of what we've been up to, we've been developing collaborations with a number of institutions and universities across the world. We have students studying in Moscow, in Hanoi, soon in Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam, in France, in New York State, in Athens, and we feel that through collaboration with overseas institutions, we not only can enhance student learning in those countries, but our own teaching improves because of our connection with other countries, and through learning from them how management and business is developing in different parts of the world.
What made you come to India, and especially Hyderabad?
Well, India is one of the BRIC countries, a significant part of the global economy. The UK has many links with India, and indeed at London Metropolitan University we have many Indian students studying. We have been coming to India, we have offices in India, and we value the contribution that Indian students make to our community. We first started talking with the Glendale Institute of Management Science about a collaboration some 6 months ago. We were very impressed by the vision they have for management education in Hyderabad, and it's a pleasure to have talked with them recently and to plan a hopeful, fruitful collaboration starting in September of 2012.
What programs you'll be offering initially through the Glendale Institute of Management Science?
The programs that we'll be offering here are exactly the same programs as we'll be offering in London. They will be subject to the same quality standards. The external examiners that moderate results of students will be the same as they are in London. There are two areas. One is in the undergraduate area, BA and BSc honours, in banking and finance, in business management, in marketing and in economics. And at the postgraduate level, MSc programs in marketing, in HR, in supply chain management and in finance, and an MBA program. That's the current intention, and that's what we've been talking to GIMS about.
How do you rate, because being the Dean of London Metropolitan Business School, how do you rate your school for MBA across the globe?
How do I rate it? I rate it as being of a very high standard. The university has to submit itself to accreditation both nationally, and we have also been, as a university, accredited by the Mid-States Commission of Higher Education in the States and by the European Universities Association. So we have, if you like, triple accreditation by a major body in the United States of America, by the European Universities Association and by our own quality assurance agency in the UK.
When the first batch, the program is going to start, what arrangements you have?
The arrangements are that soon a party will come out here to Hyderabad to validate the courses, and once that happens there will be my colleagues will be coming out to orientate the GIM staff to the approach that we adopt to teaching in the UK. After that there will be regular visits from colleagues to Hyderabad to both ensure that the students are enjoying the program and to assist staff here with any issues they may have.
Especially India and Indians are globally accepted, and they are known for their standard of education. And especially communication is really good, because we always studied in the medium of instruction was English, and I think right now with this collaboration, what do you think is going to be very helpful for the students being hired across the globe?
They are going to get an internationally recognized qualification. The syllabus will be developed by, or has been developed by, British academics, many of them, I have to say, who were educated in India, but nevertheless they have developed the syllabuses. But we hope through the collaboration with GIMS that we will modify and amend our curriculum, both in the UK and here, to reflect the lessons that scholars and researchers here can teach us, because I do, and I think I've said this before, I do think that collaboration is not only of benefit for students, but it's also a benefit for staff, because through collaboration you learn so much from each other about the best ways in which business management education can be done.
Okay, great. And finally, like anything you like to say, to the students and the parents who are watching this program, that why they should come and be a part of this program?
I've been extremely impressed by the vision of GIMS, by the commitment of the people I've met to provide a quality education. We as a university are committed to providing a quality education. We would only partner with institutions that had a similar vision, and so far I've been incredibly impressed at the ambition and in the commitment of the Glendale Institute of Management Science.
Thank you very much, Bob. We always welcome, the best of the world to our country. We always respect them, and we welcome you too. And hopefully we'll see you again soon, and we'll talk to you more in detail. Thank you. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum नाज़रीन, मैं होटल पार्क में सोमाजीगुड़ा हैदराबाद में टोनी बेगले एकेडमिक लीडर लंदन मेट्रोपॉलिटन स्कूल ऑफ बिजनेस के साथ मौजूद हूं, जो ग्लेंडेल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मैनेजमेंट साइंसेस के साथ कोलैबोरेशन में काफ़ी प्रोग्राम्स ऑफर कर रहे हैं. वो एडमिशन स्टार्ट होने वाले हैं 2012 मिड ऑफ the year. They don't have the dates right now, but चलिए बात करते हैं दोस्तों टोनी बेगले से. Tony, welcome and thank you very much for your time today. We have a lot of questions when we are talking about leadership and bringing business management in collaboration with the London University to our city Hyderabad. Just to begin with, first our viewers like to know something about you and the university you represent.
Okay. Thank you for the invitation to speak. The London Metropolitan Business School has got a large number of collaborations across the globe, and I have the responsibility for seeking them out and developing them, and then overseeing the management of them in terms of the quality management process. The students are admitted to programs using exactly the same entry qualifications as we have for students entering into the United Kingdom. The curriculum is exactly the same, and the assessment processes are the same. So there is a requirement to actually manage that process in terms of approval of assessments by external examiners, and then confirmation of the results and the marking standards, so that the students in India or in Greece or in Moscow or in France or in the United States have achieved the appropriate standard for the award to be conferred by the university.
It's all about leadership when it comes to the MBA, the business school, and we definitely like to have our youth to get very dynamic personalities and with appropriate education. So I think that's where Mr. Bashiruddin Babu Khan, who did this collaboration with London University. So what do you expect from the Glendale Institute of Management Sciences when they are having your curriculum and being taught in our city, Hyderabad?
Well, what we're looking to develop, and quite speedily, is a shared understanding of the appropriate values of the programme in terms of the learning outcomes that have to be achieved, so that we'll be seeking to develop a close partnership, a close relationship with them. And part of my job will be to oversee and ensure that that process is carried through in terms of the staff development which is necessary to explain the teaching, learning and assessment strategies and philosophies that we actually deploy in London, and through a continuous process of staff development to share experience that is emerging and developing in London. But significantly, this is not going to be a one-way process, that we are here also to learn from our colleagues at gyms as to the different philosophies and approaches that are adopted on the Asian continent, and particularly here in India and in Hyderabad in particular.
How closely you're going to work, once they start, the classes?
Well, we will be able to communicate through the usual processes, but increasingly the electronic media provide increased opportunities for that dialogue to take place, both with the academic staff and also with the students, that we will be possibly seeking to develop joint lecture programs where it may well be, depending upon the time delay, possible to have a real-time lecture which is being given in London but available to the students in Hyderabad. Or we could have exactly the same assessment, but actually then linking the students through Skype or some other appropriate IT, where they can actually exchange thoughts and ideas as to solutions to common problems which may be faced in a particular business scenario. So that we will be building the relationship both with the staff and hopefully with the students electronically, as well as the students visiting us in London to physically see how we carry out our education process there.
Normally, what's going to be the strength of the class? Like, what number of students on each class you're planning to, have?
Well, the Glendale Institute of Management Sciences, I believe, are looking to recruit a number of about 40 students each year to the particular level of the programme. I think that number will allow them both to ensure there's a sufficient diversity so that there is some real academic debate and dialogue taking place in the classroom, but at the same time it's not too large a number where the individual student may actually feel that they just become lost in a very large grouping. So 40 does seem to be the maximum class size that they were actually aiming for. I think the vision which has been demonstrated by Glendale and our discussions in London, which is the reason why we've actually come here. We've been impressed with the commitment, the both financial but also in terms of the calibre of the staff they actually have already, and they're seeking to recruit to deliver these particular programmes to ensure that the student does get an education of an international standard, which will, in an increasingly global world, enable them to port their qualification into labour markets across the globe.
Thank you very much for the information. Hopefully soon we'll, talk further once you start the, admissions and the classes here. We'll definitely invite you to our studios. Thank you very much for your time.
Very much indeed, and I look forward to coming back and visiting you again.
Thank you.